Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be going through the solution to exercise 1.12 from the C programming language textbook by Kernighan and Ritchie. Now, exercise 1.12 says to write a program that prints its input one word per line. So the first thing we need to do is actually get in the user input. Now, I'm going to do this with an integer C, and I'm going to use getchar, and I'm going to keep on reading from the user until we hit the end of file. Now, to print out one word per line, we need to first check if we need to print a new line. So we should always print a new line when we get a new word. And we get a new word when we have either a space, a new line, or a tab character. So we should check for this. So if the character we just read in was a space, or the character we just read in was a new line, or the character we just read in was a tab, then we should put a new line character. Otherwise, just put that character that we read in, because it must not have been a new line or a tab or a space. Now, there is one slight bug here, and that is, what if we have multiple new lines or multiple tabs or multiple spaces? Then we're also going to have multiple new lines put onto the standard output. Now, this isn't really that good because we want only one word per line and no gaps in between. Now, I'll compile it and just show the error or the bug that this has. If we have, for example, hello this, and then we have a lot of spaces, a test, we should also get a lot of spaces when we print it. You can see that here. So we should change this. So here we should only put this character if we were inside a word. Once we are outside a word, if we keep on reading these, we should do nothing. So to do this, we need to keep track of whether we are inside or outside a word. So I'm going to define two constants. I'm going to call the first one in to symbolize that we are inside a word, and the second one out to symbolize we are outside a word. And then we are going to keep the state of whether we are inside or outside the word in this integer state. And we're going to set it to out first. Now, if we read a space, a new line character, or a tab, we should also check if the state is in. If it was in, put the character and then update the state to out. So here we read in a new line character or a space or a tab. And if we were inside a word when we read those in, we should then only print the new line and update the state to out. This way, if we have, for example, two new lines, we will read the first new line, print it out, and then we'll go back. But this time, state is out, not in, and so we don't put this. It will just skip over this entire block and go to the next iteration of the character. Otherwise, we should put the character, and every time we put a character that is not a space, new line, or tab, then the state must be updated to in. Now, I'll recompile this. This is lowercase. Now, I'll recompile this, and then if I run it, and I'll do the same test. And now you can see there's no more numerous new lines. Now there is one more slight improvement we could make, and that's here. The problem is, or the thing that's not so nice is, we are constantly updating state to be in, even when it already is in. So for example, if we read in hello, well, we read in H, set state to in, put H. Then we read E, put state to in again, but it was already in. So this is not that nice. So we should have one more check. else if the state was out, then update the state to in, then put the character, otherwise just put the character. Now what happens is it checks if we read a new word. It didn't. So it checks if the state was out. If it was out, only then should we update the state to in. Otherwise, if it was already in, just put the character. Now if I recompile this and I run it, hello, this is a test. Nice. Now that would be all for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.